what if you could live forever? I mean, really, forever. It's a question that's haunted us for, well, millennia. Today, we're going to dive into an incredible story, one that's nearly 2,000 years old, that tackles this very fear head-on. You know, at its heart, this old tale really gets into one of our most basic human fears. It's a story all about that desperate, maybe even hopeless, feeling of wanting to outrun the one thing we know is coming for us all. Okay, so let's try a little thought experiment. Imagine you had superpowers. I'm talking incredible, almost limitless power. You know, the ability to go anywhere, do anything you wanted. Do you think that would be enough? Could you actually escape death? Well, turns out you're not the first person to wonder about that. There's this ancient Buddhist text, a sutra, that tells the amazing story of 4 men who had exactly those kinds of powers. And you know what they did? They put them to the ultimate test. So let's get into who these guys were. We're not talking about just ordinary people here. The story calls them sages, basically wise men, who had gotten these incredible abilities through years of spiritual practice. Yep, there were 4 of them, and all 4 shared the exact same all-consuming fear. They were 4 Brahmin sages. And get this, despite all their wisdom, despite all their incredible power, they were absolutely terrified of dying. It was a fear that just ate away at them. So they decided, okay, we're going to use our gifts to find a way out. And wow, what gifts they had. The text calls them the 5 supernatural powers, or pancha abhijna. This included stuff like divine sight and divine hearing. But the really big one, at least for our story, was the power to travel anywhere in an instant. I mean, for all intents and purposes, these guys were basically superheroes. So each sage had their own idea. They were all convinced that their power could help them find a loophole, right? A hiding place so perfect that death itself would just pass them by. And one by one, they each decided to put that theory to the test. All right, so the first sage, he looks up. His logic was pretty simple. Death, that's an earthly thing, so I'll go where there is nothing. I'll go into the vast, empty sky. And just like that, using his power, he shot up into the heavens. But his time came. The text is very matter-of-fact about it. Way up there, high above the world, in the middle of absolutely nowhere, he died. So much for the perfect hiding spot. So the second sage saw his friend fail, and he decided to go for the complete opposite extreme. He thought, okay, I'll hide in the deepest part of the ocean. We're talking a place with crushing pressure, total darkness, somewhere no living thing could ever possibly follow. And yet, his fate was exactly the same. Down there, in that crushing, silent blackness at the very bottom of the world, his life also came to an end. Now, the third sage, he thought his friends were being foolish. He figured open space was the problem. No, true safety had to be inside solid matter. So, using his power, he literally phased right into the center of a huge mountain, completely surrounded by solid rock. And yeah, I'm sure you see the pattern emerging here. The story tells us that even there, suspended in the very heart of a mountain, he also died. Okay, so the last sage, the fourth one, he took it even a step further. He decided to go deeper than any mountain, deeper than any sea. He burrowed down into the very fabric of the earth itself, trying to hide deep inside the planet. And for the fourth and final time, the attempt was useless. Even hidden deep, deep within the ground, he couldn't escape. He died. But the story doesn't actually end there, because we're told that someone was watching all of this unfold, an observer to these 4 desperate attempts. And that was the Buddha himself. With his own divine eye, he watched every single sage pick their hiding spot, and he saw every single one of them fail. And after seeing all this, he came to a really profound and timeless conclusion. His entire conclusion was boiled down into this one powerful verse. Not in the sky, not in the sea, not in the heart of a mountain. There is no place on earth where one can escape death. So, what are we supposed to take away from all this? I mean, it's pretty clear this isn't just a cool story about guys with superpowers, right? It's something much deeper about, well, being human. Those hiding places the sages chose, the sky, the sea, the mountain, they're really just powerful metaphors for how we try to deal with things. Think about it. We try to build these mountains of wealth, thinking money will protect us. We reach for the skies, chasing fame, hoping people will remember us forever. We dive into the depths of power, trying to control our own destiny. But the story's lesson is crystal clear. All of those things are external hiding places, and not a single one of them offers any real protection from the one thing that's truly inevitable. And this really powerful story, it comes to us from the Sūtra on the Brahmins who wish to avoid death. And get this, it was translated into Chinese all the way back in the 2nd century. So this is an idea that has been resonating with people for a very, very long time. And so the story leaves us with this one last really big question. If there's no physical place we can run to, no place to hide from the end of life, if we finally stop trying to find an external hiding place, where, then, do we actually find peace?